So it's
It's empty glass Friday night.
empty glass Friday night, so that's no use. So it's,
I held back because you said you were bringing something special.
well, I'm not know if it's special. No idea if this is special or not. This is, I've seen it for a wee while on social media and all the rest of it, and it's been on my radar, and I thought, well, I'll get a bottle. I'm like, it's a blend. Should we go for it?
Is it going to make us sexy?
Well, that depends.
How much we drink?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, we're still dry.
I was trying to think of another one of these tunes, but
Maggie Me or
yes.
I'm pretty sure we'll figure one
Well,
out.
I'm sure we come up with something at some point. We should have thought of it more. So this is, if you haven't guessed already, by our blonde-haired friend in the background. It's a bottle of Wolfies.
A bottle of Wolfies.
You maybe seen adverts on social media that Tesco's has now
I think I
got
only
it.
seen one yesterday.
So
Which is why actually I hold out my little,
Ah,
I don't know what you call this little jacket.
So I thought, what the heck? We'll plump for all the advertising spiel and all the rest of it, and we'll see what it is.
So she has a cork with the look of it, so that's a good start.
The social media stuff, the stuff that came out early on, I'm not so sure now, but early on it was actually a son of one of our friends was involved in the initial launch of Wolfies. So it's the so we'll give it a
So before you crack on, you answer that question. So who?
No, it's not somebody you know.
Oh, no, right.
No, it's not somebody you know. No.
So the next thing is, I think before you crack it open, when you opened it out the bag, I thought that you'd bought a bottle of rosé. So if you actually look at the colour,
it's very.
I know we're in a red room up here, but it has got a proper.
It does have a
bit pinkiness to it, hasn't it?
A bit of fire to it. So it's, who knows?
We shall know in about 5 minutes' time if we
says it's a rascal of a thing.
What's a rascal of a thing?
A rascal of a thing.
It's been a while since I was called a rascal of a thing. I get called a few things now, but good pop.
It was. Glug, 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 glug.
Good glug.
See, it's out as a blend.
So it's getting points for pop and glug so far. And he's also Neil's getting points for the measure.
The measure's right. So it's 40%.
So she's 40%.
40% blend.
40% bland. We don't know yet.
We don't know how it is yet. No. So
right. We're obviously not going to be. We're not hit by anything.
So this is.
I think it's also very cold.
Well, it shouldn't be too cold.
Where did you have it?
Tesco's. I suppose it is. We've switched to heating off in Tesco's these days, trying to save money. But I think this will be really. I'm quite keen. I'm quite keen to try this actually. It's been on my radar for so long, and it's just had that wee bit of stardom sprinkled on it. Is it just a marketing ploy, or is it actually a decent whiskey?
So roughly, what are we costing? What range
35
are we
quid.
in? So she's above. Well, I suppose she's. More than Johnny Walker-ish, Johnny Walker Blackish. I mean, Johnny Walker.
Well, you know you can get a Sainsbury's blend, 70 centilitres for 14 quid just now. So this is more than twice that.
So she's more expensive than Johnny Walker Black. So that's the sort of the benchmark if you'd go back for another one.
Is that because it's?
I'm kind of struggling for.
Doing marketing.
I'm sort of struggling for it. I mean, it
smells very smooth.
Is there a honey sweetness, a heathery honey sweetness?
That's exactly what I'm getting. A bit of.
Is that me just sort of getting the old Scottish kind of Rod Stewart kind of?
Smells very sweet.
Highlands and definitely getting a honey, heather, spicy, but nothing. It's not. It's
getting a bit cinnamon, spicy, yeah.
A little bit cinnamon.
We go for it.
Yep, let's go for it, Rod.
See. That's quite a wee bit of watery flavour there, but it's licorice, big style.
Yeah.
Big style licorice in that.
So when you're drinking it straight, it feels like it's over watered straight away. So first introduction to it is the Dew Water My Whisky. That's the
It does-
sort of
does
first
a wee bit,
introduction.
yeah.
It's very smooth. It's very smooth in the mouth. There's no real burn or pepper in your mouth. Once you've swallowed it, you get a sort of almost like a
An afterburn.
heat. It's not. It has got a sort of a fieriness to it. It's got a.
Oh, it does have a peppery
And
finish
then
to
you
the
get,
tongue.
then you, the,
aftertaste
it builds,
now.
doesn't it? It's sort of, you
It's
get a kind
building.
of chilly kind of build.
Yeah.
What's the one we're missing? What's the?
Can't place it,
What's the fireball? What's the thing I can?
So I think it's Lomond Distillery that this is from, if I remember correctly. I'm almost sure. Yes, Loch Lomond Distillery this is from.
I think it's for a market. If you like
Do you think it's a
smooth, sweet whiskies with that little
wee bit of a kick?
wee bit of build afterwards, but there is. I think again it's just been bottled too weak. I mean, you really couldn't water that. If you put any water in that at all, you'd lose it.
Yeah, but if it's a... No, I think it would maybe lose it as far as we're concerned, but I think your general occasional whiskey drinker would maybe manage that okay, with a bit of water in it.
What I'm not actually getting, and this is a plus, it doesn't really taste grainy. It doesn't really taste.
I'm not getting any chemical taste at all. No chemically
It doesn't.
grainy.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like a mass-produced
No.
cheap end
No,
blend.
it doesn't, no.
taste like that at all.
No, it does.
It's just very subtle. I think is the best way to put it. But the spices building, the actual what patting the old mic again.
The warmth.
The warmth is actually the aftertaste's building more than the actual liquid. In the mouth, it's just sort of not got much excitement about it. But the after breath and this heat, this chilly heat, I think I'm getting more of a chilly heat now. It's building up.
I'm trying to. It's got a wee bit of a sting, but it's smooth though. It's a smooth, drinkable. Well, it's. What are you thinking? Is it your number one?
No.
Well, it's not your number one. Is it? Would it be in your top 40?
Probably not. I don't find anything. It's not terrible.
Remember, it's a blend though.
It's not.
It's a blend. You got to remember it's a
no,
blend.
and I get that.
It is a blend. So if I turn around and said, is it your top 40 of blends? Well, you could say yes, but
Well,
we're
because we've not.
because we've not tried 40 blends, so yes, it would be. Oh, now there's a thing. If we ever get organised with this cool whiskey wall, do we have a separate one for blends? And no, I think we should just keep them all.
Oh, do you have a separate one for well, Rod Stewart's?
Well, it's the best whiskey that Rod Stewart's.
We haven't been on the heavy West Coast whiskies for a week. Well, I haven't been on the heavy West Coast for a week. We actually weren't feeling very well last week, so we weren't really on whiskies at all.
And it wasn't a hangover.
Wasn't a hangover.
No.
So this is actually our introduction back into whiskey. So it's very subtle, and we should be able to. I just think we should get a little bit more. I think if you want a whiskey, it has to sort of say whiskey.
Oh, I think it's definitely saying whiskey. But I'm going to compare it to the bourbons now.
Yeah.
We've always said to the
Actually,
bourbons.
get your nose in there and say bourbon. And it actually
I've
does
always
sort
said
of
to the
remind you of
bourbons-
a bourbon.
Yes, it does. But the fact that you're saying about the aftertaste, we've always said about the bourbons don't really have.
No.
They just vanish.
Yeah, they just.
Whereas
You just.
that's got that almost like that wee bourbon-y feel to
But
it,
you've got to really.
but it stays with you, and the flavour stays with you.
Yeah.
And
so
that's
the bourbons just leave you.
Yeah. For some
they
weird
just
reason.
Go.
Yeah.
Which is why I think that Scotch, though, I think so many people have bad memories of drinking Scotch whisky because of that afterbreath, because of that smell, because it stays with you. Some people just don't seem to
Yeah, I
like it.
don't like that. Yeah. Is that something that comes with age?
I am looking. I'm trying.
I'm trying as well. It's not the worst whiskey we've had.
There's a sweetness.
It's not the worst we've had.
Sweet and again, vanilla. Getting vanilla, get back in there. There is a sort of a sweet vanilla oakiness. There is a bourboniness to that. In fact, you could now actually convince me that I'm actually drinking bourbon.
A bourbon. You reckon?
Actually, as a bourbon, it's actually quite nice.
It's the best bourbon we've had, Rod.
Yeah, I mean, if you actually get your nose in, you get that lovely vanilla oak sweetness. If you're on the nose, if you were telling me it was a bourbon, I'd be quite happy with that. And then I'd actually probably be quite happy with the slow, gentle build-up of flavours.
I still think you're being a bit unfair to it. The fact that it's a blend. You've got to remember it's a blend. It's not a single malt. It's a blend. It's bottled at 40%,
and it's not spirity, grainy whiskey, which I suppose for that it gets points.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, because we have had blends before and they've been really quite spirity and
fake.
Yeah, that's almost that.
So as a blended Scotch whiskey, if you like a bourbon, I think you'd like that.
Which could be where it's come from, because Rod obviously spends a lot of his time over the other side of the pond. And more than likely, I can imagine.
I don't think he spends a lot of time in Scotland.
No, definitely not. So it's.
I'm not even sure if he is Scottish.
I'm not even sure if he knows
he's
Scottish.
Scottish. Has he not just got Scottish?
It's incredible. I can't believe that he's made such a fantastic life from it. I think he's got Scottish roots, but I think that's about it. Anyway, that's our Wolfies.
It's not a bad bottle of whiskey, but you're now, and it's possible at this price because it's new, and it's got that name behind it. If that was coming down to the same price as your Grouse, your Johnny Walker Reds, Blacks, I would put that probably ahead of them, because it is a nice, clean, fresh. You're not getting that. I call it a sort of a synthetic-y, gluey, grainy, cheap alcohol taste that comes through in Johnny Walker Reds. It's in 2 or 3 of the rest of these sort of low-end ones, and I'm not getting that in here at all. I'm getting sweet vanilla, bourbon, a little bit of, is it aniseedy sort of heat, kind of warmth?
Yeah, I'm getting that, yeah. But yes, at £35, I think if it was 29,
I would agree.
You'd maybe be a bit closer than that, but hopefully it's just because it's new. And then again, it was. Bye.
You've got to stop pouring bigger drams with yourself than mine.
Oh.
I don't
now,
dislike.
There you go. Now
I don't dislike.
He gets to the bottom of the glass.
But we do try.
Now he doesn't dislike it.
One of our comments is from Cousin Stewart, and Cousin Stewart just says, you stand there, you take a dram, and everyone's a yay. So we're trying to be kind of critical. As a bourbon, it's a yay. As a blended whiskey, I suppose it's an okay. It's definitely an okay. It's not grainy, it's not horrible in that synthetic-y, coloured, flavoured taste way.
I'm just thinking, could I sit and have a good number of these? And I don't know that I could.
I think if you were...
I think if I had a good number of those, I would end up with a really sore head. Although you're saying there's not that chemical feel to it, there is something underlying in it that the spiciness, I'm thinking, I can find a wee bit unsettling.
If that doesn't say, where does it say? Blended Scotch whiskey. So the fact that it says Scotch whiskey tells you one thing. This bottle is intended to be sold in America because it says Scotch whiskey, right? Look at the label. If I stood back here and opened that up, that's a bottle of bourbon. Everything about this bottle Neil and I love the whole sort of 1950s hot rod style. That's about as American as you could possibly be. The shape of the bottle, the wolf, the name, the logo, the fact, feel it, it's printed like Coca-Cola. It actually is Coca-Cola's font. That's intended to be sold in the United States of America.
Do you not think that's just
scotch?
That's part of. Do you not think it's part of Rod Stewart's branding that's kicked in there?
I'm not quite sure how well we can actually get this in front of the camera here.
You're not getting much light over there. We're
not getting a lot of light. I wonder if we're not going to get a lot of light. Neil shall post up a picture,
I'll put some pictures up.
It doesn't get, in my opinion, it doesn't get much more. It's even got stars and stripes on it. And we have another wee one though. We'll just have another wee taste.
Help yourself.
We'll have another wee taste. I think around a campfire, as a talking piece, because we've now been banging on about it for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I tried to wind it up.
Tried to wind it up. I think around a campfire, I think it would be quite a welcome bottle of bourbon. Whiskey. It's bourbon. It smells like bourbon.
Yeah, I don't see it as a £35 bottle of whiskey, no.
But a £35 a bottle of bourbon, yeah.
Yeah, just wait till you see the next one.
I think if it says Scotch on it, it's. I don't think. Do we have any other bottle of whiskey that says Scotch on it?
Scotch on it. Not that. Well, actually, we probably do have one of those ones from the 80s. We've got kicking about. Probably says Scotch. But
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm looking at a Lefroy tube there, and I'm pretty sure it will say Scotch whiskey on it somewhere or Scottish whiskey on it somewhere, but not quite as American as that one.
Well, at least it's got his signature on it, so it must be some. So that's the first release of Wolfies. Wolfies blended whiskey. Whether there'll be a second release, who knows? Depends how well it sells in Tesco's.
Or indeed, America. What does that actually say? What's that shiny bit say? I can't quite, is it?
Which shiny bit?
Top here?
It says a rascal of a thing.
A rascal? No, is that what it says, rascal of a thing?
Yes.
I think it could have been doing well.
Like that paper there.
I'm quite enjoying the heat afterwards, actually. Yes. I am quite enjoying
I'm
the heat.
It is one that you can have a wee, and then you can sit back and enjoy the aftermath.
But whiskies, bourbons, I think they do have to. Are we still going on here?
No, I was just thinking we don't want to knock bourbon all the time. You can't. It's just. But if you don't like something, you can't compare it to bourbon, surely.
But bourbon, what we found as Scottish whiskey drinkers.
Scottish drinkers.
When we first tried bourbon, it took one or two to sort of.
Yes.
And then they're actually very pleasant and they're very nice, and you could quite easily spend the evening. And I think that's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Well,
I quite like. I had a wee Woodford Reserve the other night, yeah. And which I do quite like. But this one, what I do notice about this isn't as sweet as the bourbons. It's not as. I think sometimes the bourbon can be a wee bit sickly sweet, whereas this.
She's sweet on the nose.
This is. I think it's got a sharpness to it that's. Anyway, I would suggest you actually just buy a bottle and try it.
I would wait till it's a bit cheaper.
I would say just go for it now. Just go for it now. Try it. It'll be on your shelf. You might not run through it quickly, but it's always a nice talking point to start the night off, and then you can go on to the single malts.
There is a nice, clean, spicy chili aftertaste. And I'm looking for a metallic-y, and I've not really got it.
No,
I don't have any of that.
There's none of that nastiness that you get in some of the blends. None
so why is she a rascal? Is it that little heat? Is it meant to be that sort of after chili? That chili flavour that's
yes, I think it must be, and I think it's part of Rod's branding for the whole thing. I think it's a clever marketing ploy and a clever thing, and it's kind of what whiskey needs to get rid of all that some of those barrels that are stockpiling these days.
I think a bit like Rod Stewart, Americans, I love it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But it's good to see it's out there, and We've tried it. See?
We have tried it. Cheers. Done.
Cheers.
Is it a yay?
Oh,
Is it a... It's a blend?
for a blend,
Scotch.
it's a yay.
Whiskey.
It's a yay for a
she's
blend.
Okay. She's okay.
For a bottle of whiskey, I would prefer a single malt to that, but it's...
Yeah.
Well...
It's drinkable. We'll try to be nice now. We'll have to be honest.
Oh...
We could certainly finish it. We certainly won't just be ignoring it.
No, definitely not. No. And what I would say, actually, we're not quite. I'll add this as a PS. What I would say, if that was sitting on the shelf and there was a Macker's Mark sitting on the shelf and that was all I had left to drink, it would be the Wolfies I'd be going for.
Yeah. So once again, here at Still Talk, what we're saying is that bad Scotch is still better than good bourbon. We're going to get ourselves into some bother. There we are, it's Macker's Mark.